I was so excited to log in today and see that Suno version 4 is now active and live on their website in beta. If you haven't used the service before, Suno AI is a great music creator both for lyrics and for music, and it will blend them, separate it. It's a wonderful tool. They have it on free and paid plans, though if it's a paid plan, you have the commercial licensing for it. But we've finally just seen version 4, and we're going to go through and see the different updates that we get with version 4, the different features, and how it compares to the previous versions. According to the feature release notes, we have the option to remaster our old tracks, we'll have new lyrics through their Remi generator, and new cover art generators that will match the lyrics and titles just a little bit better. They've also given technical updates to their covers and personas section. When you log into the website, version 4 will now be the default selection, though you do still have access to 3.5, version 3, and version 2. In our lyrics interface, the Write with Suno option is now looking a little bit more like something with Gemini or ChatGPT, and we have the options to now select the different lyric generator models. We have the classic and the Remi model, though they do stipulate that this is still in beta and it may not come out perfect every time. They've ingested a lot more music styles into their library, and their exclude styles option has become so much better than it was in version 3 or 3.5. And though it was live on their iOS app for a while, Personas has now been added to their website in beta, where you can create a digital artist and set your stylistic preferences so that all generated songs under that persona will come out in a consistent style as seen from that reference point. And the last stylistic update, the Create button is now in blue rather than in red. And for our tracks that have already been generated, we have new options under the Create tab where we can remaster the track, make it the persona or the cover song. And those features are all well and good, but what does it sound like? Before we jump straight into version 4, we're going to go back to version 2 and slowly progress through to see the different quality differences that have happened. With the option selector right here, we're going to go back to version 2. We're going to start with instrumental, and we're going to use the same style of music prompt and the same title for all the different generations. And none of these will be created with a persona. While those two generate, we're going to go up to version 3 and click Create again. Do the same for 3.5 and 4.0. And we will listen to 15 seconds of each track, starting with version 2, Whisper of Silence. That was a pretty piercing sound. We're going to regenerate in version 2 just to make sure that that was not a generation glitch, but was actually part of the version. And it does appear that this specific prompt is beyond the capabilities of version 2. So we're going to skip straight to version 3. All right, and that's not too bad. Moving on to 3.5. And we can really tell that starting in version 3.5, it's listening to more of the full prompt rather than just the terms that it's familiar with. Moving on to 4.0. So overall, as we moved up the version numbers, we started to get a little more clarity on what the specific prompts were asking for, but we also started to get more specific tonality showing up in the music. Generations and mastering were a little more clear in 3, 5, and 4 than any of the others. But now we're going to move on to lyrical music. And that switch is as simple as flicking this instrumental button to lyrical. We are going to generate this with Suno in their new model. And again, we will start with version 2 and work our way up. And while that generates, we'll do version 3, version 3.5, and version 4. Starting with version 2.
I have it all the rose. Yeah, it felt so clear. A lush oasis approaches.
Alright, so that reminded me a little bit of the elvish style of music from Lord of the Rings. Let's listen to version 3. And we'll listen to the second generation of version 3. Alright, we had a little bit more clarity on the vocals in version 3, but it's still kind of all blended in together. Let's listen to 3.5. Alright, that one seemed to go way harder for no apparent reason. Let's listen to the second one.
A heavy fog arose the air. It felt so clear. A lush oasis approaches. Time is near.
Alright, not too bad, but still very clearly synthesized on those vocals. Let's listen to version 4. An interesting thing of note, you'll see that the time increases for each generation as we go through.
A heavy fog arose the air. It felt so clear. A lush oasis approaches. Time is near.
And version 2.
A heavy fog arose the air. It felt so clear. A lush oasis approaches. Time is near.
Alright, so we still have some very heavy, echoey, and reverby type ethereal vibes, which is the prompt that we gave it, so we're going to try something a little different. But overall, all of these generations were pretty darn good for having been made by AI in under 60 seconds. And still using the Remy lyrics model, we're going to ask it to do something different. And again, we're going to start with version 2. Version 3, 3.5, and version 4. And it looks like we have part of 2 ready to go.
In the land tested, my shadows dance, where dreams
Alright, version 3.
In the land of TesrTeck, no shadows dance, where dreams are wild and hearts take a chance.
Alright, version 3, option 2.
In the land of TesrTeck, no shadows dance, where dreams are wild and hearts take a chance.
Alright, version 3.5.
In the land of TesrTeck, no shadows dance.
In the land of TesrTeck, no shadows dance, where dreams are wild and hearts take a chance. Cities of gold and skies so bright, we chase the stars each endless night.
Alright, and version 4.
In the land of TesrTeck, no shadows dance, where dreams are wild and hearts take a chance. Cities of gold and skies so bright.
And option 2.
In the land of TesrTeck, no shadows dance, where dreams are wild and hearts take a chance. Cities of gold and skies so bright, we chase the stars each endless night.
Alright, so as you can see, as the versions do progress, we do steadily get a little bit clearer, a little bit more separation between the elements, and it just sounds a little more accurate to the prompt that it's been given. And of course, as with all other generations, you have the option to extend the song, set it to be public, like or dislike to kind of set your preference of music. You also have the option to create, again, with all of those options, to edit the song details, crop it, or even replace specific sections with a new generation. You can add it to playlists, share, download in multiple formats, and you can report it if things did not turn out anywhere close to where it should be. And if you look at their new library, there are so many more options that are now available with Suno version 4.
Você é a batida que faz meu coração.
Mountains reach.
In the quiet of the night, in the
Suno AI version 4 just has so many different options available to it. Go in and find your favorite artists, find your favorite styles, generate some music, and see what it is capable of. There are so many different options that are now available through this, and it is just getting better. They're adding more features, more specialization, more customization. There are so many different options that are now available. All of the music played throughout this video will be down in the description below if you want to listen to the full track. And if you don't have access to Suno, let me know what music I should generate, and if you have any questions, just let me know.